Okay, so now this streams to the YouTube platform, and then it's not on yet. Filters. This is an audio filter, so it gets out that extra noise.
That's what we needed.
See it? It goes away. Okay, and more. I gotta edit the title.
If you want, I can turn it. We'll both be in.
Oh, we're live. Looks like we're already live somehow. So
Oops.
I can edit it after.
No, it's okay. It's live. It's live.
Yeah. Live Q&A.
Yes. We do this.
Two Buddhist monks. Two Buddhist monks. Join the monk life community.
Would you go live?
Well, we'll do an introduction once I've finished typing this, and then we can go live there. Thumbnail. I think we have a thumbnail from, yeah.
How about earlier today? Yeah. Picture of today, right?
I don't have that up here, but I'll put the one that we use in our other video. Oh no, that's.
Yeah, that's both of us.
Yeah. Okay, we use that.
Yeah, that's
because that'll be the same thumbnail.
Yeah,
as
and also I
the
make them go back and watch the video.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Save. We've got 3 viewers. I just got to make an announcement to the Discord because probably a lot of people are going through there.
Three screens. I like the number 3. As you know. Oh, you have YouTube Premium as well?
No, this is not. This is a different YouTube app.
I have Premium because I don't want to see ads, and I like to be able to download content. And you can't do that unless you have Premium membership before.
That's everyone. Q&A. Monks. So.
Oh, Discord.
Okay, so you can go live on the other phone. Oh no, that's what it's supposed to look. It's supposed to say tuning. That's what it just says. All right. Yeah. So, hello to everyone who is tuning in. I'm just working out some technical difficulties here. We went live sooner than we expected. But anyway, welcome in everyone. This is a live Q&A, kind of a monk chat with 2 Buddhist monks. I am Bhante Warapanyo. You may know me. This is my YouTube channel. And this is Brother Diamond.
AKA Venerable Diamond.
Yeah. So we will be taking some questions from people who happen to come by. And it's pretty casual. There's nothing super formal about what we're doing. So if you have a question that you like to ask a Buddhist monk, this is an opportunity for you to do that live. All right. So looking forward to questions coming in and see what people have to say.
It says the audio is terrible.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope the audio is not terrible for everyone.
We tested it, right? It's working.
Yeah. Should be working pretty good. Maybe they just need to come a little bit closer here.
audio for this.
Yeah, there's the audio there.
Is that better?
Yeah, it should be a little bit better. It's
It's
skipping.
skipping. Oh, okay. Secret sauce to 75.
It's skipping.
Might
And we'll go to,
okay. Let's see if we can resolve. Turn off the Wi-Fi and
use the internet for 4G.
Oh, nope.
All right. Well, we'll see. Hopefully the audio works for you, but if it doesn't, then,
Oh, he thinks it's the signal. So it
hopefully-
should change any second now. Elsie,
Hi there, Chesh. I hope you're doing well. I heard about there was a fire of some sorts, so very happy that you were unharmed and that you are safe, wherever you happen to be. So, like I said, this is a monk chat, Q&A. So, if you have some questions to ask the monks, two Buddhist monks here, then you can ask, and we'll try to give a good answer. Hi there, Morgan. Hello there, Morgan.
I can swipe too. I use that on my phone.
Let me push this.
Okay, coming from iOS. Learning curve. I've been away from Samsung for a few years. What's that question there on the right, I see? On the notes?
Someone says, have you experienced the generator?
The generator. Have you experienced the
What is the generator? That's a better question, I think. What is the generator?
You can't find the internet. Mhm.
Okay, Thought Fog
Oh,
says, I have a wonderful GF and I love my home life. I practice Zen. How do I make my girlfriend more interested in the Dhamma? I don't want to manipulate, but sometimes I play talks so much that I get a little shy.
You want me to take this?
Sure, yeah, go ahead.
Okay. The first thing we must realize is we can't make anyone do anything. We can't even make ourselves do anything. If you watch the mind, you realize that every action is simply the result of the past, your habituated behavior, and what you've been doing or are doing in the present moment. But you can influence your mind and the mind streams of others through your intentional actions, your habits, in the present moment. Yeah, that's better. Present moment actions with intention. So influencing your girlfriend through what you do intentionally. If you act skillfully and compassionately with wisdom, that will influence her to become more wise and to be more empathetic or whatever you like to cultivate within your girlfriend's mind stream, because we are all our mind stream, which is ever flowing and mostly full of habits, unconscious tendencies. You'd like to add anything, Bante?
Yeah, I think probably the best way that you can influence the people around you to be more interested in the Dharma is to make yourself more interested in the Dharma, and that's just to practice, to get more involved in meditation, in study, and to be involved with the benefits that come from meditation, not just the struggles or the difficulties that come up in studying or learning more about meditation, but really getting more and more involved in the benefits of it. And then naturally, you're not necessarily sharing it in an intellectual way, not in the way that We can just turn this off. This one not working. Turn that off. So we influence them through our happiness, through our joy, through the benefits that we get from our meditation practice, in our study. So that's probably the best way to influence um, the people who are around us, is by influencing ourselves. And then we share it naturally. We share it organically. No pesticides, no kind of contrived intentions about like, well, this person should know about the Dharma. They need to improve. They should get good. Don't have to think of it in that way. Just influencing through your practice.
Yes. Influencing through practice.
Okay, Noob Slayer says, I was tripping on psychedelics and experienced this thing that felt like being and nothingness falling into each other eternally. Okay. Brother Diamond, do you want to say something about that?
Well, I was talking to you earlier about how we just finished a 7-day retreat, and I was able to, well, spontaneously, I entered into a very lucid state, which was very tranquil and more stable than a typical high dose trip. And I've had many trips before. So I would say drop the concepts, because we're dealing with the quote ineffable, which is the common term that comes up for people who are gifted with language. And that's one of the best English terms to describe what happens on a high dose, during a high dose trip. You experience the ineffable, indescribable, indefatigable. Just remember what it was like and see if you can integrate that experience in everyday life, in your everyday activity. I mean, that lucidity, which is a chief feature of any, quote, good trip. You become very lucid and very tranquil. So how does that sound? Just drop the concepts, stop trying to define the experience, but try to remember and experience it in the present moment, right here, right now. Can you do that? Can you tap back into, can you tune into that quality of mind now?
Okay. Tune into that quality of mind now.
I think I may have had the mic closer. So let's see.
Ruben Marshak says, as monks, do you only study the writings of a particular sect, or do you also study the writings of others? I think it's, for me, I like to study different traditions and just find something that connects with me and inspires me. So sometimes that's Zen, sometimes that's Theravada, but they meet in the middle. All the traditions kind of come to a similar understanding, similar basic principles, especially in Buddhism. So whatever writing inspires me and pushes me to practice and to feel sincere in my practice, that's the one that I will use, regardless of what tradition it is. Maybe sometimes it's not even in Buddhism, right? So, you want to share something?
No.
Oh, it's
Likewise.
good. Yeah, it's good. So, yeah, that's what I say about that. Someone says, how do I start to you guys? Creepo, maybe you could add some more words to that sentence. And how do you start to you guys?
I think he means, how does he become a monk? Right? Is he trying to ask the question, how do I become a monk like you?
Yeah, is that what you mean?
Like you two.
Emil? Yeah, we'll see if that's what he means.
How do I become like you two?
Yeah. And Sienna, hi there, Sienna, good friend from when I first started my Buddhist journey. Have you ever regretted becoming a monk? No, not particularly, not for me. Sometimes it's very difficult, and sometimes it would seem easy in the mind to think about how nice it would be to wear normal clothes, not to be walking around everywhere with a sign that says I'm an abnormal person or I'm a strange person. And it depends on where you're at, what your signs, what this sign says. If you're in Thailand or Myanmar, you're not saying you're a strange person. You're saying, hello, I'm a holy person. So sometimes I imagine that it would be nice to not have that, that robe of I need to do a good job. I need to improve. I need to be aware of how my actions are affecting my mind and affecting my environment and my role as a monk. Sometimes it feels that it'd be good to put that down, but it usually doesn't get into regret, that I regret what I'm experiencing as a monk or that I would want to take the robes off. That usually doesn't come up. How about you,
You
Venerable
nailed it.
Diamond? Yeah?
Likewise, you nailed it.
Okay.
Can you zoom in on those questions?
Can I zoom in? I
It's
can
so
probably
small.
change. Yeah, they're very
It's not my
small.
vision, it's the small font. I had
Yeah,
back
it's a
in
small font.
2015 with glasses, so
Okay.
better than average.
Let's,
With glasses. So I can see well.
that's going to be
Luckily.
a lot better. Okay.
Oh,
That's
thank
going to work
God.
much
Yeah, that
better.
was like super small.
Mhm.
Okay.
So, Gold Chocobo says, after a year of dedicated meditation practice, I feel as though I'm hitting a plateau. I'm finding it difficult to motivate myself to sit each day. Do you have any advice?
Yes. I would say gold chocobo.
Yeah, the
Chocobo. Gold chocobo 3333. Nice. How about a retreat, which is what we did, a 7-day retreat or 3-day retreat? Try to find a retreat or meet with some other fellow meditators at their home so you can galvanize, boost your practice, supercharge your practice.
Supercharge your practice. And, I feel as though I'm finding it difficult to motivate myself to sit each day. Welcome to the club. Welcome to the community of people who find it difficult to sit each day. It's very normal, and that's a part of what makes practicing meditation powerful, is that you don't want to do it. You want to give up immediately, for the most part, for the first 10, 20, 30, 50 years, 100, for the first 100 years, you're not motivated every day to sit. So being a part of a community is very motivating, for sure. Someone inviting you to join and practice with you. And in terms of hitting a plateau, seek out a teacher, seek out a community, seek out different places to put your practice. If you keep your practice in one little tiny box, well, it's not going to be very big. It's not going to be very wide. So you need to find a way to open up that box. And not just in terms of life experiences, but meditation experience. How do you open yourself up to what is meditation? And really coming back to that intimacy, that directness, that aliveness of this present moment and those moment by moment present moments that you experience in meditation. If you like Christmas, go and practice meditation because you're going to get a lot of presents, more than you can imagine. Sitting meditation is like sitting under Vishnu's Christmas tree, the Christmas tree of Lord Vishnu in Hinduism. So you'll get so many presents, you won't know what to do with all of them. Okay, go ahead. You want to read it?
Yes, next one. But I may be skipping someone. I don't want to skip anyone. Martin McKenzie, but there's one on skepticism very
Oh, we
Yeah,
should
yeah,
go
let's go
for
in order, right? Let's go
we should
back.
go to Creepo. He said, how do I
Yes,
start meditation like you guys? He wants to be like us.
I see.
Yeah.
And no worries, Creepo. Okay. I began meditating formally in 2016. And I went to a Friends of Awakening in Indianapolis, Indiana. And they met every Sunday. They still do via Zoom now. And we would sit for 30 minutes, which is a long time for a beginner. But I was dedicated and I moved around a lot. But I was dedicated to doing that every week. But if you can do 10 minutes every day in the morning, and then 10 minutes in the morning and the evening every day, that's 20 minutes total every day. And then you can build upon that. That's practical, 10 minutes. Surely we can do that, right? 10 minutes we mindlessly scroll through feeds on social media. So surely you can sacrifice 20 minutes to just tuning into yourself, just being with yourself as you are, moment to moment, no judgment, just watching. As we say in Chan and Zen, just watching the mind. The mind streaming network. Watch that stream.
Yeah. Not
Turn off
Netflix.
Netflix, but watch your mind
Turn
stream.
on the
Right.
Mind Streaming Network,
Yes,
MNN.
the mind streaming
Oh no,
network.
MSN.
MSN.
Mind Streaming
Yes,
Network. Yeah.
MSN.
Yeah. All right. And another part of that is that, this is a extension of, this is the Monk Life YouTube channel, and this is something that came out of the Monk Life community, which is like a online temple. So me and Bante Diamond, Brother Diamond here, we live at the temple. We live through the support of Buddhist people, of meditators, of practitioners. That's how we live our lives. And we do that by staying around other practitioners, people who are more experienced and people who are interested in this stuff. So if you want to get more into meditation, if you want to practice, stick around. Get involved with this community that we have through the Discord, and this YouTube channel is an extension of that. And meditation is not about having that one experience or buying that phone. We buy something and we're looking forward to getting it, and then we get it, and then we have it, and then it becomes a normal thing. Meditation is coming back again and again and again to this. What is this? What am I experiencing? And reinvesting continuously over, many days, many weeks, many years, developing that relationship with ourselves, that relationship with our body, that relationship with our mind. So it's not a marathon, it's not a sprint, it's not even a race. It's a relationship that we develop over time. So if you want to get more involved in meditation, we're going to be having regular group meditations through the Discord. Hopefully soon. We'll have to see what happens, because with COVID, nothing is certain. But stick around, stay involved, and I'm here to help. We're here to help.
Mark McKenzie. That's the
Oh,
next question I
okay.
was following you. Because that's a lengthy one, but I get it. Very good question.
All right, you can read it.
Okay. Mark McKenzie asked the question. I feel as if I know what I could be doing to be more aligned with my highest reality, but I have trouble finding the motivation. What could I do to find motivation? Well, a great monk in Buddhism in the Thai forest tradition recently said something along the lines, is Ajahn Pasano, by the way, the guiding elder of Abhayagiri Buddhist Monastery in Redwood, California. He says something along the lines of 60 to 80% of the practice is knowing what you should be doing, yet not doing it. See that? Remembering what you should be doing, knowing that you're not doing it, but knowing what you should do. And eventually you will do it. For example, meditation. I spent years, oh yeah, meditation. The mind needs to be trained. It sounds good, but I didn't do it until one day I did it. And now I'm doing it.
Mm.
We are doing it. How many hours? 7 hours a day, right? I'm not saying this to show off,
this
but
retreat that we just finished,
yes.
and there's nothing to show off about it
Right.
because it's horrible. It's
Yeah, it's
difficult.
painful.
It's painful. And even though
So-
you do something like that, and not to cut you off, it's all right to jump on this. So even though you do something like that, there's still difficulty. There's still stress. There's still, I didn't become a completely perfect, enlightened person. Even after we follow through and we do a lot of really good, healthy, compassionate stuff, there's still that difficulty. So it's that relationship that we have with how we live now. And meditation is that place, that way of coming back to, in a very direct, very immediate way, how do I relate to it now, in this present, in this new, fresh experience? Not this convoluted idea about myself, this story about myself, or that little thing that agitates me that I just get wrapped up in and so stuck in, but how do I release, relax, let go, and grow from what I'm experiencing right now without holding on to it, without making it something to identify myself more and more. Instead, relaxing that self-identification, relaxing that, idea about highest reality and being with reality. Then you can relax it, you can release it, And as you do that over time, you're opening up more space for yourself to take advantage of those opportunities when they come up. To go to a meditation retreat, to become a part of a community, to join a group meditation, to practice a meditation when you feel somewhat comfortable or somewhat calm on your own. So we are aligning ourselves moment to moment. We can't align ourselves at any other time. Even you do it, like I say, you do a meditation retreat, 7, 8 days, 7 hours a day, 8 hours a day or more. At the end of that, you feel a lot of energy and you feel purity, your closeness to your own heart, but you still, again and again and again, are aligning yourself moment by moment, finding that motivation, finding that sincerity. And for me, community is the most effective way of doing that. Some kind of community, some kind of relationships with other people that are built on intimacy and depth, not just like a surface level, we all think the same thing or we believe the same thing, but really doing it together and going deep together.
Awesome. Interesting questions coming.
So we only have about another 15 minutes,
Wow.
right?
We have to do Zen
Yeah.
answers, right? That.
Yeah, we'll do
short, succinct.
We'll do a few Zen answers.
To the best of our ability.
Yeah.
Brother Diamond, are you in the... Yes, but I'm not active.
Yeah.
Discord,
Brother Diamond is in the Discord server. So do you do different types of meditation techniques? I'm doing this one where I breathe through one nostril and then the other and ask a question. That doesn't sound particularly good, but I do all kinds of different meditation methods. One is a metta, loving kindness. We cultivate kindness towards ourselves and kindness towards other people using our thoughts and practice like that. And then also concentration, awareness of the body, awareness of the breath. Don't make any particular meditation method too intellectual or too complicated. Meditation is a time to simplify. And don't worry, complicatedness will come up. So you don't want to add to that. A good place to start is being with the body, being with the breath, being aware of your body sitting there, and returning back to something that's immediate, like a physical sensation, a feeling of your breath, or the feeling of your body.
Which segues into answering this question by Ruben Marshak.
Yeah.
So Ruben Marshak if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Sometimes when I meditate, I feel a humming or buzzing in my body that increases as I get deeper into it. Do you guys experience that? What is happening there? The last question in your bundle of questions, what is happening there, is perfect for investigation, which is the second factor of the 7 factors of awakening. Investigate. But to do that, you need a mind that is very calm and very clear. Now, I do experience the buzzing or humming, but as a sound. Maybe it is correlated with the body sensations, the Vedana, the feeling tones, the sensations in the body. So this is a good sign. If you can stick with that, that's mindfulness of the body, by the way. The humming or buzzing in your body, follow that single-mindedly, but don't black out. Be aware of everything else, but have your attention honed in, zeroed in onto the humming and buzzing in your body. And that definitely qualifies as Vedana, mindfulness of the body and feelings. And they go hand in hand. Body has feelings, and there are no feelings without the body.
Okay.
Would you like to comment
That's
on that
good.
question?
Yeah, it's good. And most things that are kind of like, oh, that's really interesting, or oh, that was kind of nice, that's, that's about as deep as you need to look into it. There's a lot deeper experiences that we can have in meditation. We can totally transform our mind. We can totally transform the well-being, the happiness, the peace that we have in our lives, right? So having some, very nice experiences, yes, is a very nice experience. Keep going, keep practicing. Don't get too caught up in, what was that? Was that a celestial level 5 fire chakra awakening? Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't, but we still have to go back to, how do we align ourselves now? And focusing too much on some experience we had in the past isn't necessarily gonna do that for us. But these experiences can be very encouraging, purifying in some sense, but you don't want to get too attached to them because they're also impermanent, whatever experience you have.
I don't think we have enough time to answer some of these questions.
Yeah.
They're very difficult.
Some are more heavier to answer, but
heavy questions.
but when you want to, you can go, and I'll answer some of the final ones.
Okay.
Whenever you feel you want to
we can
go.
handle this, I'm sure. Karma. It's easy. What is
Yeah,
last
here
name?
you go.
Z.
This one.
Her name's Jay. So Jay asks, what is karma? And I'll leave off the rest of the comment question. Karma is shorthand for causality, cause and effect. When you say kamma in Pali or karma in Sanskrit, which means action, it implies results, or vipaka. Kamma and vipaka, they go hand in hand, but most people just say karma or kamma. In the Theravada tradition, they prefer the Pali terms, but it's an action. And we know wherever there's an action, we know thermodynamics, and I don't have to go into all of that. So every action begets an equal or opposite reaction, which is an action. So, and of course, we could really go deep, but not here. We're dealing with energy and materiality, force and matter, if you want to go into physics, standard model of physics. But that's why I say these questions are, the rest of these questions I see are very heavy. So
Should we say goodbye to you, Brother Diamond? And
we still have 8 minutes.
Okay, all right. You would go until 5. All right.
Yeah, 5-ish.
Zay, I just want to add that Buddhism does not believe or endorse an idea of ultimate good and ultimate evil. Right. There's ultimate skillfulness in terms of purifying the mind and peacifying the mind, and there's somewhat ultimate unskillfulness of working yourself up to be more and more of a wreck, more and more suffering. But there's not good and evil, and especially there are no ultimate evil tends to be a justification for violence towards someone, some kind of negative evil response because that person is inherently bad. But we don't have that in Buddhism. Basically, it's as simple as this. If you don't like someone or you think someone is doing something wrong, act out of compassion for them and for all involved, not to be nasty or to have that ill will. Okay. Derek Brooks, yeah, I feel I am opening up to something greater than myself in meditation, but it feels very chaotic and difficult to be with. Any advice on how to be with your experience if it is like this? I would say you're mostly not meditating correctly. Yeah, that's what I would say is probably the case. This does sometimes happen in meditation, but it shouldn't be the overall theme of what meditation is to us. That means that you probably have something in your approach that is a little bit off kilter. So in meditation, we are simplifying the mind, calming the mind, being with the body. If meditation was going, let's go wild, let's get crazy, let's get intense, weird experiences, more people would do it. The reason that people don't tend to if when you wake up in the morning and you knew that you could have some weird, crazy, intense experience by going to meditate, tons of people would be doing it. Because that's what we tend to do. We crazify, we destabilize our mind and our body and our life. We stimulate ourselves in that way. So, good night, Creepo. So, meditation is to simplify, to calm, to be aware of the body, to be aware of sensations, to be aware of impermanence, to be very willing to be close with a dissatisfied feeling, that craving, clinging feeling. So if you are dealing with chaotic experiences in your meditation, you may want to reorient or reapproach how you're meditating. And, it's not such a specific question. I don't know so much about your case, but that's what I would share about it. Because I have some experiences in meditation, you can get into a state where you're kind of overstimulating yourself, or you're actually pushing yourself into this chaotic mind state. Maybe you think you're moving towards some special experience, and you don't want to do that. You'll really put yourself in a difficult situation if you practice like that. So you have to integrate wisdom into the practice. It's not just sit down and meditate, focus on my breath, tense up. There's wisdom here. There's people who have gone through deep meditation and understood the mind in a very meaningful, deep way. And you can incorporate that wisdom, those skillful teachings, into how you practice and how you live your life. So that's why, don't just force yourself to do it and think that you're doing it the right way because you're doing it. That might not necessarily be the case. So I say reconsider your practice, and if you want to share more information about it, then you can contact me through Discord.
The choreography, Vivo.
Chaos Grandpa. Yeah. Any tips for getting started with Metta meditation for someone who's only done awareness of the body? If you've only done awareness of the body, you're in kind of a good place because you have done something. And awareness of the body is definitely very important. So you can sit down or lay down, get into your kind of meditation position, and bring to mind someone you love, someone you care about, and you wish for them. You repeat words like this: may you be happy, may you be safe, may you be peaceful. And we can also say those kinds of words to ourselves. The real truth, I would say, about this question, though, is that it's kind of asking for a guided meditation. So if you really have the intention to practice metta, the only way you're going to learn how to practice it is by trying it out, by practicing it. So I can definitely send you some links for some guided metta meditation, and we often do that in our group meditations as well. You know, it's a pretty regular practice that we do. Mhm. Yeah, so
2 minutes.
like I said, using your thoughts, using your mind to wish loving kindness, to wish happiness, to wish peace
Yeah.
on yourself, on someone you love. Um, that's how you practice it. And for any of these questions, if you have a more, specific, or you're looking for a direct resource, like a guided metta meditation or a good guided meditation, you can contact me through Discord, or you can even just leave a comment on a YouTube video or contact me in some way. Okay, so Carol, let me post that right now, Carol. I'll post it right here. So something I really recommend to people is so a woman by the name of Sharon Salzberg.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, she's a heavy hitter. Yeah, she's a heavy hitter. So that's the bell for a tea and stuff.
Tea time.
So this is a 10-day challenge here that you can use for your life to learn more about loving kindness. And I highly recommend that to watch this. And it's it's a series of 10 talks. So do the 10-day challenge.
Link.
Yeah.
The
All
rest can
right.
be answered really quickly. Some interesting questions.
So why don't you answer what you'd like to answer before you go?
And Zen answers. Let's go back up. No, I think we missed a few. Does Brother Diamond have diamond hands? No, I wish. Hands are destructible, not indestructible. But we have diamond nature. Let us all investigate and discover diamond nature. Is Bhante named after Diamond Sutta? No, actually my name Diamond is a nickname because it rhymes with Dai Min in Vietnamese. Dung Dai Min, Desmond, Dai Min, Diamond. And so they call me Brother Diamond or Venerable Diamond in the Theravada tradition.
I'll read these for you. Anastasia says, "Good day, Bhante and Brother Diamond.
Good day.
Can you describe what the experience is like for you while meditating for 3+ hours? I'm guessing a day."
Yes, basically for the whole 1 day of our 7-day retreat. So for the first 3 days, very peaceful and tranquil mind, not much difficulty at all because it wasn't my first rodeo. But Bhante to my right has been in more intense retreats than I have. But moments of bliss, moments of pain, but overall clarity. When there's pain, I'm aware of the pain. Sometimes I identify with the pain briefly, but then I let go. That's the fruit of 5 years of meditation here, speaking. So the bliss, the pleasure was greater than the suffering. No stress at all. No unnecessary stress. I don't create problems for myself anymore in meditation, thank goodness, for now. That may change because of anicca, impermanence, but as long as I practice mindfulness, I know to quickly let go of identification. So bittersweet at times, but mostly sweet. That sums up my 7-day retreat. Mostly blissful. Not by chance, of course. What does Varapanyo mean?
Should mean something like bright wisdom or great wisdom, something like that.
Meditating, thank you. You're welcome, our pleasure. And let's scroll down. That's Carol. You can read.
Yeah, okay.
Then we'll head off.
So is it okay, thank you for your message, Carol, and is it okay to meditate with those of other religions? Yeah, because your meditation is very personal. It's very direct. It's very immediate practice. It's inside of yourself. So, yeah, you can do that in any situation, in any place, even with people who aren't religious, even with people who are maybe stressed out. So, yeah, it's okay. You can do it.
What's that? Fung Tran.
Fung Tran, yeah.
What is your opinion?
Glad
of
you're here,
North
Fung.
American Oh, wow. That's heavy. That's almost.
Yeah, it's about all the questions. You can head up if you want to
There's
get
one more we missed. Is genuine Christian? Did you just answer that?
genuine Christian prayer,
prayer.
a
This
form of
is
meditation.
Noob Slayer.
Noob
Noob
Slayer. Yeah.
Slayer. Noob Slayer. Ooh.
You want to answer that?
No, you can
Yeah.
handle that.
Well, what's genuine Christian prayer, right? So intimacy, immediacy, and closeness to reality. What are we talking about? What is it to be genuine? What is it to be Christian? What is it to do prayer? What is it to do meditation? No one else can answer these questions for us. But when we do ask questions, to be as clear and specific as possible. And it shows us, it represents our mind. We're so easy to fall into vagueness or generalities. So the more specific that we can be, the more we're going to know. So not just a general idea of I'm depressed or I have anxiety or I'm a bad person, but what's really going on here? To look closely, to look immediately, and with a lot of heart, a lot of love and kindness, a lot of patience. So I think
This is one more good question, but I don't want.
This will be the last question here.
I think it literally is the last question. There are comments, but one more question about, and it's easy. I'm sure you could handle that easily as well.
Which one? The Native American?
Yes,
okay.
saw that, right?
So what is your opinion on North American native forms of meditation and connection to nature?
That's a perfect question to end the session.
Actually, the Native American church was a pretty big part of how I got into spirituality and meditation. That was one of my original touchstones, cornerstones of spiritual practice was actually the Native American church. And that's a very shamanistic tradition where they take peyote, overnight psychedelic peyote meetings, and they do sweat lodges and things like that. For me, it comes back to how do we get grounded? How do we get simple? How do we get stable? And how do we do that consistently? So intense spiritual experiences might be intensely positive and intensely nice, but if they don't directly correlate or come from a place of being stable and grounded and closely aware of what we're experiencing, then they're just that. They're just intense experiences. And they don't necessarily represent a change in our mind or a change in our life that is sustainable. So I think it can be great. Different things great for different people. They called it the beauty way. I definitely had some intense psychedelic experiences on peyote in teepees overnight in Northern California, tripping. But I'm more of a Buddhist. I like Buddhism now and meditation. And who knows, maybe sometime me and Brother Diamond will have a Buddhist meditation overnight. Meditation. I don't know. Anything's possible. Okay, so I think we'll end the live stream here. Thank you everyone so much for joining. Seems like people really like this, to have a Q&A and have another Buddhist monk here, Brother Diamond. So thank you to Brother Diamond.
Thank you, Bante.
And to everyone who's here.
Tea time.
And it's tea time here at the temple. Look forward to seeing everyone again and practicing meditation
Excellent
together
questions,
soon. Excellent questions. All right, take care, everyone.
Okay.
All right, bye-bye.
So we have 2 sessions together now. See, we got the video, the interview.